Hello, my people. Welcome to the Long Game Podcast. I remain Olu David, and I'm here with Sonia, media personality. Thank you for coming, Sonia.
Hello, Olu.
All right. So we'll be talking about so many things where many of us say don't really like saying openly. Should people who have left their home country invest back home? So we'll be talking about that today. I'll be talking about um yeah, just basically that. Many of us have left the country for a while. We've invested in our careers here, in nursing, in IT, in retailing, and so many other sectors. And we've been here for a while. But is it wise for us to invest in home? Sonia, what's your take?
Um, uh, Firstly, I want to look at this from a general perspective.
Yeah,
Now, whoever leaves home
yeah,
obviously left home for a reason or for reasons
yeah,
best known to them.
yeah,
Now, when people leave home, some people did not leave home with the mindset that they're going to be away from home forever.
yeah,
I would say those who probably left home just to further their education elsewhere. Obviously, they had planned to maybe do 1 year,
yeah,
2, 3, 4 years, and then return back to their home countries.
yeah,
While there are others who probably one business connection or the other
yeah,
moved them to, away from home. And then when they are in these foreign countries, plans change. And then their old goals, they kind of redefine them. And in the process of this redefining their goals, their long term aspirations and ambitions, discover that they become farther away from home. Some would have said, I want to stay in this country I'm going to for 1 year. Or some would say, I'm giving myself 5 years and I'm going back home. And in their calculation, they have to go back home to something. So that something is where the investment comes in. So if you are planning to return home after a period of time, if you don't have any investment to fall back to, so what would you be going back to really? Because not everybody who journeys away from home plans to go out there, probably do whatever they want to do, and then go back home and probably become employees to someone.
yeah.
Yeah, some of them want to own their own businesses, or if they already had businesses functioning, they want to expand. So how can you expand if you don't make proper plans? And then, of course, comes back to the word investment. Investing while waiting for time to pass. So I think this firstly is like the foundation of it, but then the questions change as we go on.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
definitely. But some of us have been here for a while now. Some of us have been here for 5 years, 10 years, and some are even. I had a friend of mine said, "My brother, I'm
20
I'm
years
home now."
actually.
So someone told me that
Yeah.
this is my home now. Like we're
Oh.
going nowhere. So I think home itself is relative.
I agree.
Some people see home as where the wives, children, their husband, children, wherever they are, that's
Mm-hmm.
their home. That's some people's definition. Some people's definition is where they were being born.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's their home. So I think it's just all being relative.
True.
But for someone that has been here for 20 years, 30 years, I feel like here is home. This is my home. Because something happened recently in that as far back as 2020, 2022. That's after COVID, when
Okay.
the Russia and Ukraine war started. We can see that there's a particular video of a man. I'll share you the video where he said, "This is my home. I'm not going anywhere." And after the war started, he invested everything in Ukraine. And
Mm.
when the war started, after they bombed the whole place, now the man is stranded. Is nowhere to be found. Not just Ukraine now, because that's a Nigerian man in that particular
Country. Yeah.
country. And look at South Africa, for example. Now,
Mm.
as the trending videos, even
Yeah.
legal immigrants that have been there for 20 years,
More.
even
Actually,
more,
more.
not illegal now,
Yeah.
legal immigrants,
Mm.
legal people that they have their passports, they have
They've
everything
settled over the
over the
years. Yeah.
years in South Africa. Then after about 10, 20 years, they even employed their citizens.
Mm.
And we can see videos going viral, going everywhere, telling them to go back home.
To their own home.
so, so,
Different from the home
so
they've
I think
created for themselves.
yes, I think we need to set things right.
Mm.
So someone that have stayed in South Africa for that many years,
Mm.
and believe that this is my home. Not just even South Africa, even some other countries whereby I don't want to mention the word now. So
Yeah.
some other countries like that whereby they don't really like your skin color.
Mm.
Yeah. So after a while, things can happen, things can change. But home will always be home. So what can you say about that?
Uh, this one is kind of somewhere. It's a gray area
Yeah.
because if you say wherever you finally find peace or where you have love, where you have your family and friends, is of course home.
Yeah.
So it could be the proper home where you were born, your country of birth. It could be a country of your nativity where your parents hail from, where they officially come from. So, but everyone defines home differently, and you're right to have pointed that out. But for those persons who made a choice to choose home away from home, to
Yeah.
make wherever they've traveled to as their home, and things go wrong or things go south, I won't say they made a wrong choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because imagine if a Nigerian invests in Nigeria
Yeah.
or a Ghanaian invests in Ghana
Yeah.
and things go wrong in Ghana. That Ghanaian can lose his properties, everything is investments in Ghana,
Yeah.
and is a Ghanaian.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
so I
Yeah.
don't really think it's a matter of maybe a Nigerian in South Africa due to maybe xenophobic attacks
Yeah.
or whatever other crisis,
Yeah.
political or whatever crisis is going on right there.
Yeah.
If things go south,
Yeah.
you discover that these people who have investments that lose in the process do not necessarily lose because they're foreigners in that country.
Mm.
Because even locals lose as well.
Yeah, of
I
course.
know of a particular video from the South Africa attacks recently that they already probably damaged a good part of the man's business, his workplace,
Yeah.
and then they discovered that the man was one of them,
Mm.
but the damage had been done. Of course, we don't know the end of that story if they were compensated or anything.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, let's assume there was no compensation. He is lost. He's South African in South Africa, and
Yeah.
the system has happened to him. So I believe personally, this is opinionated now,
Yeah.
that life can happen to anybody anywhere. So
Mm.
you can be in your own home
Country
country
and things still
and
happen.
life will happen to you. You see the investments that you've been able to, accumulate,
Yeah.
it can still go down the drain if it wants to go down the drain.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's this safety. There's this safety that you get when you know, okay, this is my home. Before things will get that bad.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Something must have been. You must
Yeah,
have seen
indeed,
some signs and
it's
yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a foreigner, when things go wrong, truly, foreigners are easily targeted
Yeah.
because obviously you're not originally from there. Even if you decide to say, "This is my home," it's not your home.
It's not your home.
It's not your home. We try to paint these things and
So
say,
are we trying to
I
say
have a black passport, I
yeah.
have a red passport, I have a blue passport, or whatever color of passport. I
Well,
think mine should be yellow.
I think ours is green.
No, you don't know where I'm from. So, it doesn't really matter the color of your passport.
Mm,
But I think somewhere, somehow, beneath, the old surface, people still identify with where they originally come from.
mm.
So
So
yeah,
are we saying this is our home, or are we saying back there is our home?
both. You're correct.
So we have two homes.
Yes.
We are living the two lives.
100%.
Two lives, two homes.
Presently, I
Yeah.
have a home in Nigeria
Yeah.
and I have a home here in the UK.
Okay.
That's it. Because I have a different family here, a different setup here that works for me.
Yeah.
And then the one in Nigeria, the one I left, also works. It's
Mm.
still there, it's existent. The fact that I'm not there does not make it non existent. It's still very much active. They are still there. We still talk, thanks to, of course, internet and all of that. So you're not losing home to get home. You're rather expanding home.
Mm.
That's how I say it.
We
So
expand
either
home.
ways you want
Yeah.
to look at it, you're correct.
Yeah. I just want to throw just something that most of us don't really talk about.
Yeah.
But from your own opinion, is it really wise for us to invest back home? Like create a business? Because I've heard something from a particular financial analyst who said, wherever you're not, you don't invest there. You invest wherever you're situated at. Most of us here, of course, we invest in abroad, wherever we are, Canada, Australia, US. But I still see sometimes, I really don't know, I don't want to say it's funny, but someone living here and you invest it back home. Because I've seen some issues whereby some videos circulated in social media where someone was sending money back home. Like at the end of the day, there's nothing to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
Okay, so should we invest back home?
Yeah. Is it wise? No, not
Hmm.
should we now. Is it wise for us to invest? I just want to hear your opinion. Your
Yes,
yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
to be very honest, I think there is no yes or no answer to this one.
Yeah.
And this is because what works for Mr. A may not work for Mr. B.
Mm,
And I think everybody needs to understand that no two businesses are the same.
mm,
Now, let's assume you want to go into hotel business.
yeah.
The kind of sophisticated equipment we have now,
Yeah.
because I was a hotelier at some point in my life as well. The kind of equipment we have access to now, you can be in the UK and you have a control room
Yeah.
where you monitor your hotel business 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Every plate of food that goes out of your
You
restaurant,
see
you
everything.
see it.
Yeah.
Every room that is walked into, that is opened, you see it. Every second a room is cleaned, you know it. So I also think it depends on the kind of business. So I will say yes and no. Yes, because there are some businesses that can work from a distance.
Yeah.
No, because there are some that cannot work. Trust me, I've seen friends who maybe had shops, probably boutique. I'll use the common ones: boutique, a pharmacy, and then they put people in charge when they travel.
Supermarket.
Thank you. The lights.
Yeah.
Trust me, you are definitely running at a loss because those kind of businesses, it's hard to track.
Mm,
Even with the CCTV camera present, things like supermarket, a pharmacy, it's easy to do some sort of, to cheat the owner. That's one. Another thing is, was that business already running before you traveled abroad or wherever you went to? Was it already running? If it wasn't running, it will not be wise. Very clearly, it's not wise to open a business when you are not there, especially businesses in the consumables chain in particular.
yeah.
It's not wise. But if these are businesses that are already existent,
Mm,
you don't want it to fold up,
mm,
then you just have to find a way to sign probably a business agreement with someone, probably sell or lease. I don't know how they do it.
yeah.
I'm not an expert there, but
Yeah.
you could have like consult officially and
Yeah.
see how you can maybe give out the business.
Mm,
Because to be honest, you might be running at a loss eventually. But if you have an existing business like a hotel
mm.
or certain, I'm trying to think of other a
Yeah.
media platform,
Yeah.
for
Media
example.
platform.
Let's
Yeah.
assume you have your own radio station already running.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in the country. You don't have to be in the country. Your radio
Mm,
station is going to run. You
mm,
can also have things in place to track all of it. How do people make money mostly?
yeah.
There are other means,
Yeah.
but the main source of income for these media houses is mostly advertorials,
Yeah.
sponsors.
Yeah.
That's how they make more of the money. So these are massive ways you can control
Mm,
from wherever you are in the world. You don't necessarily need to be physically present,
mm,
but you must have a channel that is in place that allows you to have constant. It could be quarterly, it could be monthly, it could be twice in a year, it could be worst case yearly.
yeah.
That you have to go there. You have to be on ground.
Mm,
People need to see the face behind the business as well.
yeah.
So not the type that you've relocated, you've made this new home your home, and then you are there for 20. Some people, I know some persons, they've not been to their home countries for 5 years at a
5 years.
at a stretch. I would speak for my. I've not been home in 3 years. So I'll speak. Just imagine there are people I know who've been here 5 years. They've traveled, they've had vacations,
Yeah.
but they've never gone back to their home countries. So imagine if your business is running 5, 10 years.
I haven't been there.
So if you're going to have a successful business, you have to have these mechanisms in place to be sure that okay, you're going to be there. It could be quarterly, it could be monthly, it could be annually.
Just to track it.
Yeah. So I think it can work
Yeah.
depending on the type of business. So I would advise whoever wants to do that to research. Your research must be strong enough.
100.
Yes, you must carry out your research and see if it works with what you want to do.
Mm.
If it doesn't work, please just invest where you are quietly to avoid stories.
Well, I think there's a lot of things we can invest in here too.
Yeah, I agree.
Real estate, buy to let. There's a lot of properties, even aside properties now. Because when most of us talk about investment, we don't really talk about stocks.
Mm.
There's a lot of stocks now that are really doing well. You can make research. There's a lot of stocks on trading, 20FC, and Vanguard. There's a lot of
Mhm.
stocks, a lot of treasury bonds that we can treasury bill we can invest in. And people are really not seeing all these things. And that's where the money really is.
Beyond the physical businesses.
Beyond the
Mm.
physical investment you can
Yeah.
see.
Mm.
Although I'm not going to talk about forex now,
Mm.
but treasury bill, S&P 500, these are very good stocks in the market whereby you can invest and leave it for about few years and after a while because it's compound interest.
Mm.
But these things people really don't see and people really don't want to know
I think
about
why
here.
people shy away from such is it's a risky one. As much as it is highly profitable from the research I've made,
Yeah.
there are also chances that you could also lose. While there are cases where you are definitely sure to get your investment,
Mm.
even if the profit is not massive, your investment is sure, the return is sure. But at the end of the day, I think the information at the disposal of the people out there is what matters. Some people don't even have access to this information, or rather, the access is there, but they just don't care about it because not everybody must walk the same path. Not everybody must
Do the same
forex
do the
trade.
same business
Not
thing.
everybody
Yeah.
must buy stocks.
Mm-hmm.
But even if we need to talk about that more, we need to educate people more because it's the information is out there.
Yeah.
But there's just a limit to what people know and what they are open to.
Mm.
So the ones that whoever decides to work, yes, I agree. You don't have to own a business to have investments.
Yeah.
You can even have investments all over the world, thanks
Mm.
to
Yeah.
So if you're doing all of that and it works for you, good and fine. But if you're the type that you are this CEO, you could
You want
have
to be CEO.
chains of businesses.
Yeah.
You're not even in one line. There
Yeah.
are people who are into oil. There are people who are into oil and gas.
Yeah.
That same oil and gas
Yeah.
a CEO is into probably hoteling,
Yeah.
hotelier rather.
Yeah.
That same person is into the media. That same person is into
sports.
politics.
Yeah.
That same person has a stake in Arsenal.
Yeah.
That same person has bought something off Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it's possible to diversify
Yeah.
and still have those thoughts you're talking about. So
Yeah.
I just feel at the end of the day, everyone has to have a proper research done.
Yeah.
Consult. People don't spend money.
On
Consult
consultation. Yeah.
experts.
I agree with you
For
on that.
everything you want to do, there is an expert in that
that
field.
Yeah.
Look for the experts, work with these experts, and then tailor their own advice to your own need, and then it will work for you.
Yeah. So this is a little bit different from what we've been talking about. Based on the current situation now in our home country in Africa for foreigners back in their country, do you see yourself retiring back there? Probably after, like, do you see yourself because the things going on back home now.
Mm.
Sometimes I just feel right now. This is me personally saying this. I feel Nigeria is sick, and I'm being honest about it because there's a lot of things that I see some things online and I'll be like,
Mm.
this shouldn't be.
Mm.
I felt we should have passed some stages, but I see us deteriorating. I just see us going down because I'm a Yoruba man, I'm an Ekiti man. They just did the election, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? So they were still sharing money. Not even
Vote
money now.
buying.
Yeah, they were still
Yeah.
sharing bread. I saw, I'm serious, sharing bread.
Not rice anymore. We've gone down from rice to bread. At least rice can last in your house for
I
one
saw,
year.
I saw a lady on
Bread-
social media shaking 10,000 naira
Oh my
for
word.
4 years. Even though you want to vote for this person, you don't need to
Mm.
get the money. What are you using the money for?
Mm.
It's a lot of things. As I just feel the country is sick because now we've normalized those things, and we don't even want to learn, and we don't want to even. What do you think? Do you see yourself retiring back home based on these eventful situations back
I'll bring God into this.
home?
I'm a Christian, so
Oh god.
okay. So I feel for every man there's a purpose,
Yeah.
and the will of God over everybody eventually is what comes to play. Personally, when I was coming, I told myself I was not going to stay here for long because I had a very thriving career, to be fair. So I said, okay, just see what's out there.
Yeah.
Because at some point, I just wanted to see the world, explore, you know, get better at my craft.
Yeah.
And then I got here and okay, this place
It's really nice.
is nice. Why not
Yeah.
stay? And then now we're staying. And the plan of going back home, has it really changed? Maybe not. And if I initially set out to return home, like maybe say 1 or 3 years, and I find myself staying beyond that, it's probably because things are working for me here and I've decided to embrace it. Now, talking long term, futuristically, we have to be realistic. Most African countries, apologies to the giants of Africa, where I'm from,
Yeah.
Nigeria, we're doing so poorly when it comes to leadership.
Yeah.
And it's the honest truth about it is we're a long walk from this development and freedom supposedly that we really need. Our leaders have enslaved the society and the people in it. So we are all slaves to a government that is not functional. And that's how I say it.
Yeah.
And because it's a very very ugly situation right now. This even discourages people who originally had plans to go. Someone like me, yes,
Yeah.
I would agree. The threat to my life
Yeah. Insecurity.
at the
It
moment
doesn't stop.
will make me sit and say, "Oh, I was thinking of visiting Nigeria. Say, what if I go and I get kidnapped?
We're gonna call
Who's going
for
to pay the ransom?
some.
Even if I have the investment somewhere, for instance, and nobody knows about it, like, how am I even going to
Start.
Okay, what if they call an amount that I don't even have access to? What if I'm even killed? And sorry to say for ladies that find themselves in such dens, what if I'm abused? How can I recover from that mess? We see all of this. It's no secret. It's an open
It's,
one.
it's everywhere. Yeah.
So the fear of that automatically would make me sit myself back down in the foreign land and say, okay, if the foreign land feels safer, this is home. That's where the home thing comes in again. We're going back to why you choose to make home.
Yeah.
So it's home for me. It's safe.
Wherever is safe is the home.
It's safe.
Yeah.
So why go to the home I know?
Yeah.
And my life would be at risk.
Yeah.
My investment, my properties, anything can happen to me. I'll give you an instance. When we wanted to travel, before we travel, somebody was like, how will you carry, let's say, 20 million naira and above, depending on how you did travel, you know, and you're going to a foreign country to further your education, or you're going to, because I know people who just leave their countries to come to a foreign country to invest. They're not coming to school, they're coming as investors to open a business. So why move such amount of money, 50 million naira more, to come to a country as an investor, or to go there as a student, or to probably just go as a tourist to see how the place is, and then you like it, and there are legal routes to stay, and then begin to explore these legal, channels, and then you want to stay back. Why spend so much money? You have 100 million. Why not with 100 million naira? For instance, I'm using naira because I'm a Nigerian. Why not use this amount of money in Nigeria and you become rich? You might even be able to, in maybe 10 years, compete with the Dangotes of the world. Oh my God. If Nigeria happens to you one day, 100 million, 500 million is nothing.
Let's go to the tin hair.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
So imagine the ransom. Okay, let's not even talk about the ransom payments. Anything can just go wrong. You are not safe. If you build a castle for yourself in a place where there's darkness, eventually, everyone in the dark will come to that your little light. And then because the darkness is too much,
they'll kill the light.
The light will be covered.
Yeah, that's just
an analogy I just used.
Yeah.
So I feel the question of going back home at the moment, to be very honest, most people I have spoken to that want to genuinely go back home can't go back home because there's no home to go back to. Home is supposed to be safe. There is no safety back home at the moment. That's talking for most African countries. And South Africa isn't safe. Even if you're South African, you're also exposed to, because obviously what's going on there is barbaric. So a South African who knows that this is a barbaric act being perpetrated by his own people, if he speaks against them, what are the chances that he's not going to be whatever, butchered or whatever, alongside these foreigners? So it's all so very painful that we could actually do better. Some people, foreigners that have engaged, are like, so you guys have money in your country. Like we've seen some of the, documentaries and stuff, and you guys have money. And how come your country is not as developed?
It's just little parts. Just the little
There
parts.
is
Yeah.
development,
Yeah.
selective ones,
Yeah.
but I just feel power at the moment is still resident in the hands of a terrible few.
Mm.
And until this terrible few find their way out of the system by hook or by crook,
Mm.
I don't know when that's going to happen, because I know of the case of Ghana.
Yeah.
I don't know if it can happen in Nigeria, where you have all of these leaders come together in one roof and let God have His way.
For me personally, I think for a country like Nigeria to
Yeah.
get out of the shame, because there's a lot of shames. Not even the leaders, even we ourselves, we're so corrupt, and our mindset is so very bad. I went to renew my passport recently at the immigration. Is it
Mhm.
your home office or at the one in
Nigerian in London, right?
Nigerian High
Embassy.
Commission in
Okay.
London? I got there about my appointed time, and I
Uh-huh.
met queue.
Okay.
So I went to the guy who is in charge of the queue. I asked him, "What's the problem?"
And you've allotted times for everyone to come.
So I asked him, "What's the problem?" I said, "What problem?" I said, "This is a problem
Mm.
because in the first, there shouldn't be queue, not even inside the
Mm.
oh now outside on the roadside."
Nigerians have acted as Nigerians, even in a foreign country.
God. So after the whole queue and the whole drama, because I was so pissed off, like this shouldn't be
Yeah.
happening here. So after I went inside, after a few minutes, it was so hot. There was no air conditioning, nothing. It was so I was like so disgusted. And after the whole queue, about hundreds of us on the down floor, then they said some of us should come upstairs. After we came, I was expecting that they should just. I spent over 8 hours.
Now that you're saying that, I'm not going to renew my passport here first off.
No, I think no. If you want, to, I think you should do. But you should. I think you should just book a day for that. As I've said earlier, it's not just the leaders. Even most of the time, leaders are just doing a little bit.
Nah, I beg to differ on that one. I would say I differ.
You know what I'll say? They are doing little bits.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when the leaders themselves, they are so intelligent.
Okay.
When they see you guys are when they see the Nigerians are doing things that are really wrong, and they feel like, well, these people don't really mind. I can do anything and get away with it. That's why they can steal billions of naira. No one's saying anything. No one is even there to even we ourselves. If you're not in the corruption, if you're not in the
Mm.
corrupting system, if you're not taking yours, Nigeria is better. But when it's affecting you, you say Nigeria is not better.
Mm. How I see it, just put it this way: you have a king,
Yeah.
and you are just a regular citizen or a villager, in this kingdom.
Yeah.
The king holds all the authority.
Mm.
If the king acts right, the chances that the people he's leading will act right is higher. But if the king decides not to act right, people will defend themselves or try to save themselves or try to find other means. I'm saying this because if the system is working such that people that graduate from universities, there is something for them to do.
Yeah.
People that do not even choose education, for instance,
Mm.
they get into whatever skilled or whatever kind of job they're doing, there are opportunities for them. The room for growth is actually there. And there's a legal means to be okay, to live as a dignified human being.
Yeah.
Trust me, these things will naturally settle. Firstly, imagine if you have to look for, as a private citizen,
Yeah.
you have to find your own power supply, as basic as that is supposed to be. You have to seek an alternative for yourself.
Mm.
What exactly are you being patriotic about? What exactly are you being a good citizen about?
I feel
I think the
okay.
bulk of the whole thing
Yeah.
still rests on the leadership. I know we have a value orientation need
Yeah.
when it comes to the citizenry. A lot of people, our mindsets are it's bad because of the failed system. If the system is fixed, the value orientation is easy. Imagine coming to tell me, hey, you need to trust Nigeria, you need to be patriotic, you need to come home, you need to invest. The president has said severally,
Yeah.
diasporans come back home, come and invest in the country. But you're not giving me any reason to trust you. Because I know every penny I bring from the foreign country to invest in the country, you're going to embezzle it. Or you're going to do something that will make me lose my investment,
Mm.
or you put my life at risk, or I have to pay heavily to supply my own, to get my own power supply, to provide my own security, to even the access roads to where I work. So it's a lot. Trust me, it's 90% systemic failure. If the system is fixed, you see the mentality, the mindset, the values that have gradually been eroded, we will get it right if the provisions are there.
And also, I also think, based on your example you gave,
Yeah.
it's a very good example. But Nigeria doesn't have a king. We have president.
The king and the president is the
Because
same thing.
the,
It's leadership. That's why I use
the president stays there for 4 years.
Mhm.
Then if he wants to renew, he
Yeah.
renew. So after 4 years, okay, look at this new election now. I just spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
It's the election.
Yeah.
If the people are really serious,
Mm.
and you feel this man, what the promises he has gave is not fulfilling them,
Mm.
you can always re-elect someone else. So even though they are sharing money, at that point, the king you're talking about, they stoop so low, so it's corn from they eat corn, they play with your children. At that point, that was we ourselves as citizens,
Mhm.
we can make choice.
We are choiceless. I will take you back. There was a time I said we are slaves in our own home.
Yeah.
You're slaves because if you wake up in the morning, you cannot afford a basic 3 square meal, right?
Yeah.
You're a slave. You need to beg somebody who is supposedly a leader
Yeah.
to eat, to feed. You're a slave. If you're not into politics, you can't feed. You're a slave. If you're not a criminal, you can't survive. You're a slave to the system. So the system has so impoverished us. The impoverishment is visible. Some of these people that you see, they will take one bag of rice during elections and then they will happily vote their soul away. It's because they are hungry. Hunger is a bad thing. Why is the United Nations always talking about this? Why is WHO always fighting for people to not go hungry? Those are some of the initiatives they push. Any town where you have people who are hungry, a hungry man cannot decide. A hungry man cannot think clear. A hungry man has no brain because in his head, I've seen bag of rice. How am I sure if I don't vote now? How am I sure I'll get food to eat tomorrow? But eventually, if they are operating from a place of comfort, the choices will be clear and more visible.
So are you saying that the person who they gave
They've
a loaf of
enslaved
bread,
them.
are you saying the person who they gave a loaf of bread is going to eat that bread for 4 years?
In that person's mind, let me survive today. He who lives today, right, will be alive tomorrow to fight another day. That's the thought.
I think we're on the same page. I think
Yeah.
I think we need value reorientation, as you
At
said
the end of the
earlier.
day,
Yeah.
the system has
Yeah.
to change.
Yeah. I think
Because the
yeah.
home we're looking for, the
Mm.
home away from home, we can all go back home eventually if we want to. But what are we going back to? What are we investing in?
Okay, this brings to another conversation. Now, due to everything happening back home,
Yeah.
we can see everything.
Mhm.
We are in the light now.
Supposedly.
Of course.
That's also relative, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. Based
This
on your
light that we are in. Oh, it's also relative.
based on your
Oh my world.
based on your scenario you've
Yeah,
given earlier,
yeah.
I'm gonna say we are in the light now.
Mm.
We are in the
Possibly.
developed countries,
Yeah.
right? So what do you think should be our role play? How can we support? How can we make sure these people also come to the light? What's our own role play as people who is living in abroad?
It's very simple. Get involved. I'll go back to the church again. Christians will always want to say, "Oh, I'm a child of God. I'm a pastor. Or I'm a serious, Christ-like believer.
Mm.
Politics is dirty. I don't want to be involved." The state where I'm from in Nigeria, if you're a woman and you're in politics, they give you a tag naturally, whether you're married or unmarried. They see women as cola nuts, and I'm not even joking.
What does cola?
Yes. Now, traditionally, if you come from my state, which is Delta State, I'll be very specific. If you go to a function, traditionally, kola nut is that thing that is put. It's a piece of I don't know how to describe it, but if you just Google, you find it there. It's something that is put on the table as an offering. People pray over it, people share and eat. It preaches oneness. It's something that is shared. It's something that everybody are supposed to like eat in a gathering to show, okay, we are one, we are together. So the sharing part of it, the meaning, that's what they talk about when they say women are liking to women in politics are liking to kola nuts. It simply means that the women in politics are being shared amongst men. That's how they devalue women. So they spread the mindset to everybody, such that even if a pastor's wife, a bishop, is into politics, they would automatically say, this bishop, you know, they kind of bring the person in terms of the moral, the standing the person has morally, they bring it down first. The person doesn't stand a chance. So Christians then say, I don't want to be involved, so that they don't call me a kolanot, so that they don't assume that I'm a thief, if you're a man in particular. Also, I don't assume I'm, into following several men. And then they step aside, and then they complain from the church. They go to church, they pray in the morning, they pray in the night, they fast and bind, they cast and bind, fast, pray, deny themselves of pleasures of the world, but the country is not getting better. It's not working. You know why? Because they refuse to get involved. So those of us that are in the diaspora, like I keep telling people, I know it's Nigerian politics now is not something that you can just. It's also an investment. It's an area of investment as well. We're talking about investment, right? So politics is also investment now, but the motion of invest or the motive rather of investing in politics in this context is not for profit.
It's not for profit.
It's
I
not
like that.
supposed to be for profit
in the first place.
Yes. So if you say, okay, I've got some money, I want to contest an election, buying the form is already, people can actually donate if you don't follow.
Do you know how much the form for president?
That's because they don't want people, the average me and you, to go in the race. That's the reason. So it's only money bags versus money bags. So imagine if I decide to invest in politics, I decide to go to that line and say, okay, this is it. I am exposed to the lights. I want to do better. This light I have seen, I'll go back home and replicate it. But this is not the case. Some of these leaders that you see, their children are all based in foreign countries.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Most, I think I can say over 50%, which is the majority now, are based outside the shores of the country. So in other words, they're not even going through what the consequences of their fathers or their mothers' actions. They're not suffering it. So if we decide to say it is bad and we fold our hands, it's going to be bad forever. So it's very simple. The solution to that is we all must be involved, whether Christian, whether poor, whether rich, whether abroad, whether back home. You must be involved.
As you said earlier, because me personally, the country will keep on deteriorating, and the people who can, based on the analogy, the people who can help Africa, people who can help Nigeria are people who are out of Nigeria. Because you're out of Nigeria, if even not even you don't even need to go far. Go to South Africa. Some people don't want to leave South Africa
because of how it is. Yeah.
South Africa is so developed that it looks like a first world country. South Africa is far. Go to Ghana. Ghana have electricity. They have stable electricity.
And I hear we supply them from one of the lines, one of our dams.
Yeah.
Supplying them what they use to generate their own electricity, and we cannot afford to supply our citizens. That's how
but
bad
sometimes when I call some of my family members back home, I'm like, there's no light. Sometimes I feel sorry for them. I'm being sincere now. Sometimes I feel sorry for them because it's when I've been in this country, they haven't taken the light for once.
They have, but
I haven't seen.
I have seen, but not for long.
I haven't. I haven't experienced it before. I haven't seen. Probably people the way Nigeria can move forward without the people that are not in Nigeria.
Mhm.
So it has to be from.
Okay, let me tell you what in one of our cadre conversations, I was telling someone that should we do I would like us to try something else.
Yeah.
Move the whites in quotes.
Yeah.
Move, let's use a particular country as a case study. Let's move the leaders and the people of the UK presently. I'll use that as an example. Let's move them to Nigeria. Let's change their geographical location. Everybody who is British, the leaders led all British. Let's move them from their geographical location, which is the UK, and let's make Nigeria their location. And then move Nigeria, the Nigerians in Nigeria, to the UK. It's just a swap. And I told somebody, give it 10 years tops. I said the UK will become Nigeria of today. present UK you see now
Yeah.
will be turned around to Nigeria of today, and then Nigeria will turn to UK. I'm selling something. I said, so it's not about the place. God has given every location more than enough that it requires, but the people managing it is what the problem
Now
is.
that I was telling someone, I was saying because majority of Nigerians are pro-religious.
Mm,
I was telling someone that Nigeria doesn't need prayers.
we don't, to be fair.
I'm being serious.
God has given us
I'm being
everything,
serious now.
everything,
I'm being
everything,
serious now.
everything,
Nigeria as a country doesn't need prayers.
everything. God has given us everything we
You
need.
see, we that are out of Nigeria are the ones that actually need the prayers. I'm being sincere with you.
Also,
I'm being sincere because the things we see
mm,
leaving our home country, it requires us to go back to God. Yeah is a very dark place, but that's another conversation for
mm.
another time. So Nigeria itself does not need prayers because are you praying for sun or are you praying for rain
Praying for
or
power
what are you praying?
supply,
Are you praying for good soil
good road,
or what? You can't you can't pray for infrastructure. You
good
can't.
schools, good hospitals, so that people don't die. Quick, you're praying for ambulances to be, thrown from heaven to come save people during, the need for medical emergencies. We don't have.
I think we have, but it's not even working. They need to. I
The point
think
is, it's not having,
yeah,
having, and it's not.
it's not even functioning. Yeah,
It's a whole mess.
it's a whole mess. It's a
Sometimes
whole
I
mess.
am
Yeah.
so proud of where I'm from. That's why I'm talking about it.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong. I am very proud. I'm a proud Nigerian.
I think on my last
Yeah,
episode, I told someone that
yeah.
I'm proud. I'm very proud to be a Nigerian, but sometimes I feel ashamed
We
of.
can do better, basically.
We can do better,
We
but
can do better.
not by prayers. Prayers won't solve
Just get
some.
involved somehow.
Prayers won't solve what. For example, a child needs to pass an examination. You don't need prayer to pass the examination.
Study.
You just need to put more time to. You don't need to pray for a pen or pray for. Some people pray for pen. They call it. Let's talk about the last issue now.
Yeah.
Children born and raised in this country.
Mm.
Will they call their parents' home country home? Or do you think those children, the children who've given birth, born here, and or some who have lived there from 2 years or
Yeah.
from 10 years, and they still live, do you think they're gonna go back home? Or do you think we as parents or we as adults are going to get them back home to just at least let them just because most of children now, I don't think most of them, I really don't think they have any connection back back home.
Okay, I'll answer this way. Our parents, the parents whose children, whether born or brought,
Yeah.
here as foreigners into a country like this or any other foreign country, I feel the whole thing rests on the parents to establish that connection with the child. I know some parents would say, "I don't want my children to go back home to go visit." Yes, the way you're talking about darkness, there's darkness at home as well,
Yeah.
and then and then you'd be like, okay, I don't want to expose my children to certain people. If they
Yeah.
go back home, who knows? A
Yeah.
lot of things happen, we've heard, we've seen. But of course, we know greater is he that is in us. But at the same time, we do
Yeah.
not tempt the world, you get.
Yeah.
But so some people, for that reason, want to say, let's protect our children and keep them away from the original home
Mm.
where they are perceived home enemies.
Mm.
Because it's rather you stay as a stranger where people hardly know you. So before somebody would really take you as an enemy, as a stranger, it's hard. But a place where you are from, that's where the enemy is actually more, to be fair. So that's one reason spiritually now why people
Yeah.
want to say, let's protect our children and not take them back. But I would say the decision of the eventual relocation back home or investing back home, or remigration for these children
Yeah.
that when they become adults, I think the choice would now be theirs. But we can do our part as parents today to give them the chance. Let them explore both words.
Yeah.
Don't close one word to them. Many parents, like I said, that's one reason why they keep their children away from home.
Yeah.
It's just probably for protection spiritually. Now there are
Mm.
other reasons as well. But if whatever your reason for keeping your children away, if you allow them to experience both words, they could
Yeah.
say this Christmas or whatever long holiday, summer
Yes.
holiday, they're
Yeah.
going to spend time with
Even though
grandma.
it's 1 week or
If
2 weeks.
grandma is
Yeah.
still alive, they're going
Yeah.
to Nigeria or whatever
Yeah.
country you're from to spend time, and then they're in the UK. They're learning their local language here in in wherever country they find themselves. They can speak local language. I've seen some people on social media
Yeah.
from my state who teach their children how to speak our local language, Urobo,
Are you
and then
serious?
and then they're putting you. It's a very funny accent that they use, but it's nice to see that
Yeah.
somebody is taking effort, making that time to see that their children can speak. So in making them not forget their identity, and what's their identity, their culture.
Yeah.
The Yorubas want to prostrate to greet. Are they forgetting? Are they doing hello, dad, or are they actually prostrating to say Carol, whatever, good
Yeah.
morning, sir? And
Yeah.
then they are.
On the
So
floor. Yeah.
their identity is their culture, is their tongue, the language they speak, their first language, the way they dress, all of that. The food, are they just going to be eating the foreign meals, or continental dishes? You also know your local dishes. You can
Yeah.
enjoy your local meals, you can enjoy foreign meals. There has to be balance.
Mm.
And then when the time comes, these children will make their
You
choice.
should be the one to decide. Yeah.
If they eventually want to go back, invest in their home countries and relocate fully
Yeah.
or partially back home or not. But if you don't give them the chance, you
So.
already decided for them that they should stay in the foreign country and
Yeah.
be there 100,
Yeah.
because you closed home from them. So
Yeah.
you need to make it balanced. And then
Yeah.
when the time comes, they'll do what works best for them. Yeah.
One of our uncle, I love him so much. I really love him. So I was in Nigeria then. So he came to visit us, myself and my wife, and so he brought his children. I was from London.
Yeah.
I was so happy, like although they couldn't speak the language, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. But the fact that he brought them to that, I was so like, this is something that most of us should do. We should
Mm.
try to, just as you said earlier, we should try to just let them experience,
Sure.
no matter how, even though it's 1 week or 2, let them
Mm.
just see how
Experience
it is.
everything.
Let them meet the people of
I
the
agree.
same color, the same language. Let them just experience these things and
Yeah.
let them decide themselves. And also, I think we ending now. So, just tell us one thing you want people to take home from this conversation we had earlier. Just summarize something you want people to hold on to.
Yeah. I want to say that, you know, we are travelers in this world.
Mm.
We all say, I come from Nigeria, I come from South Africa, Ghana, UK, the USA, Canada, wherever. But the bottom line is we're all travelers in
Yeah.
this world. We come and we go,
Mm.
because death is universal. There's nothing like death is existent in Africa, is not existent in the UK.
There's death everywhere.
There's death everywhere, which means we all come and go. How is the difference? So the fact that we're all travelers in this world, when we travel, really travel while alive, move from place to place, I think we should try to not forget our identities, because people in the course of life forget where they are, who they actually are. And for me, investment, whether financially, spiritually, physically, politically, because imagine leaving a job that's paying me millions of in naira,
Yeah.
in pounds, if I should convert, and then go back home to say I want to contest an election and I'm spending a lot of money,
Yeah.
not because I'm planning to go, you know, loot funds like some
Yeah.
of the leaders, but because I really have a genuine passion for leadership. It simply means I have a greater calling. I've not forgotten my roots. So my own general message would be: no matter how far and how wide you travel, there's always a route where you're from. You mustn't lose it.
Yeah.
Even if you're trying to, or you found a new home,
You have expanded.
you should also know that indeed someone somewhere where you left might just need you for them to hold on to, for them to also climb and see the light that you have seen. So at the end of the day, don't lose yourself, don't lose your identity. Believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, you are all that matters,
Yeah.
really. And then, yeah, always seek financial advice from experts, business advice from experts. Anything you want to do, you cannot
There's always an expert in every field.
consult.
Yeah.
People spend money. People wonder why people go into consultancy. And they say, how they pay consultants lots of money. Yes,
Mm.
because they will help you avoid the pitfalls in your life's journey.
Yeah.
So spend that money today to avoid tomorrow's regrets. That's how I ended.
Thank you so much, Sonia. I really do appreciate. Thanks for your time. Thanks
Thank
for
you for
Thanks
Okay.
for get you back maybe some other time. And also, based on what we've said so far, wherever you are, wherever you may be, let it count.
Yeah.
Just live your life and enjoy your life. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of the long game. Thank you so much. We'll see you all the time. Bye.